All right, good morning, everybody. How we doing? How we feeling? We got a fresh week ahead of us. A lot of interesting things going on already early this morning. And the top interesting thing going on for MV3 Trader, that wasn't just I didn't plan to say it this way, but it just flowed smoothly. Let me switch over to the right screen. There's a light version for, why am I on this screen? Yeah, it's backwards for some reason. My OBS is tripping. Yeah, but there's a light version for the ultimate charting guide. So it's completely free. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, you can just go over to mv3trader.com and click on this link right here, or that image, and this is the light version. So you can go ahead, and if you're interested, you can go ahead and check that out. All right, so that was completely not planned. I didn't plan to say it that way, but it just flowed. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our pre-market insight. On the calendar, we don't have anything today. Tomorrow we have building permits. Wednesday we have crude oil inventories as usual. Thursday we have the initial jobless claims and the existing home sales. And then Friday, nothing. So we got pretty much the typical week in terms of economic events. Nothing super big stands out at this moment. Just in terms of the calendar, let's go ahead and look at our power range report. And for our NQ future sessions power range, we got a high of 14,683 and a quarter with a low of 14,652. Sentiment is short, down negative 0.89%. I think we have a little bit of tracement since then, with a volume of 132K and an ATR of 183.93. So let's go ahead and look at the charts. You see we are trading down into our mean on the daily. So we're getting that retracement, got a little bounce already. This is my K band. So off the average of the K band, which is the Keltner channel. For those that don't know, I call the Keltner channel the K band, by the way that I use it. But yeah, we got a bounce off of that. Nice mechanical bounce as of right now, according to the way it looks on this chart. So you can see out the gate we started selling off, a little bit of retracement back to our open, back into the power range, the mid of the power range, and then we just started to sell off during the European session. Already down PR minus 5, touch PR minus 5, hanging around in PR minus 4. So definitely it's safe to say that I'm going to be looking for shorts this morning. Let's go ahead and look at our futures market pulse. Same thing with ES pretty much. These indexes are pretty much going to be the same. One exception. Let's see, RTY is on this daily range that we've been keeping track of, is right now at its low. And then for YM, we're in the middle of that range that it's been, but it's still trading into technical support. All right, just looking at our indicators. So ES is pretty much in line with NQ on the daily. And of course, more bears in YM as well. Let's go ahead and look at CL. So crude is also bearish of its power range. Nice little bearish pattern. Attempting to break below its daily support. So of course, we have clearly broken below this pivot here, and then we got another pivot there. So we're clearly broken below the support that was holding CL up. It's just, I'm not gonna say it's official until this day ends, and we'll see where we're at. But they are definitely making a push to take price lower. GC had some sell-off overnight, but we have since retraced all of that back into above its power range. So it has a nice wide range. We started out bullish, traded up to PR plus 3, came back down, flipped bearish, traded all the way down to PR minus 7 or PR minus 8, and then right back up to PR plus 1. So it's trading in a really wide range this morning with a lot of volatility. On the daily, at an area of support and resistance. Just looking at it structurally, it could turn around and start, trading back bullish, but we have to make it through this resistance here. And then just a quick glance at our euro currencies, and pretty much identical to GC with the exception of it never really traded above its power range. Made an attempt here and just started to sell off strongly, and now we're retracing all of that. All right. So that's our futures market pulse. Go ahead and make sure I run back through my checklist, make sure everything is good to go. Actually, I want to open another instance instead of having it. And I can close this one down. Computer was struggling to do all that at one time. We'll be upgrading it today. Hopefully, got a part coming. Hopefully, it'll speed things up with my computer. My computer's not slow. It's just, it needs an upgrade. So I got a part coming today. Should get that today and should be able to upgrade that. So I don't have to wait for stuff like this. I remind myself to stay with my focus on the goal to trade the strategy to perfection. Make sure I'm always seeing the big picture, and I stay aggressive with the evaluation account, which I will be doing this morning and this week. Being really aggressive with the evaluation account that worked out for me last week. So we are, we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. I don't want to over speculate. Yep, OBS. taking a really long time. It shouldn't take this long. I should have did this part, yeah. In my nightly prep, that's why I should have did this also. Open the other instance to make sure everything was good over here. Had to turn that. I need it this way so I can screen record everything I do in the evaluation. Alright, so for now, what we're gonna do, wow, that's being incredibly slow. Our open should be coming soon. As expected, we are seeing some buying out the gate. Of course, we're gonna have a lot of these shorts that are covering, mostly from our wholesale and market makers. Late screenshot. Since I am running so many things at one time, it's kind of lagging. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. When I take a trade, I'm just gonna switch over. I have to remember to switch over to my rhythmic setup, my Leeloo setup, so I can get it on, I can record it. Got time to play around with it this morning. Alright, so yeah, we're seeing some buying come in. We got this little, had some sellers trying to hold this range that was created in the pre-market. With this sort of price action, I'm definitely not looking to take any breakouts short. Come on now. did get a breakout. I wasn't even looking at it because I wasn't even looking to trade it. But we did have buyers sitting down there pushing back. This is why I don't really. I'm not saying that it can't continue to trade lower, but you know, in this market we do have you know, strong trading sitting on both sides. So you know, as usual, I'm looking to take the pullbacks. Got our volume point of control in between that range at 532. Buyers are definitely looking to step in and push price back up, back higher. Of course, we got a sea of red on the Delta board. This is a bit aggressive, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and scale into that. That could be looking to trap shorts this morning, so that put me in one. Well, my breaking was already triggered. I didn't even get a screenshot yet. So at least I got a scalp out of that. Wasn't expecting to get a big move out of that, but got to stick to the plan for the evaluation. Take my next one here. I am expecting some significant pullback. So we got those looking to buy the dip and our sellers, overnight sellers, taking profit. Of course, we're going to have all these shorts that got trapped down there, excited that, you know, for the market correction. Like yesterday I was listening to all weekend, well, no, mostly yesterday I was, you know, I'm always listening to podcasts and stuff and looking at my emails and just looking at the market as a whole. The sentiment is definitely, the market is expecting correction. Usually, you know, when everybody thinks the same thing, it may look like it's gonna follow through, but the major dip that everybody expecting usually happens when no one is expecting it. put that screenshot in the journal. I don't know if it even, yeah, okay, it took it. So you see we still got some sellers sitting in here. Got a nice little battle going on. So they're trying to at least keep this range alive. I'm looking to play the top of the range. We got to push lower off of our volume profile. I mean our point of control. Well, it's the point of control off the volume profile, so it wasn't necessarily wrong. So structurally and looking at the price action, it looks like they're trying to take this price lower. RTY has some pullback. Now we're selling off. YM is trading somewhat similar to NQ, just looking at how they're painting the picture. Let's get some more shorts in here. Of course, in hindsight capital says I could have been more aggressive on that point of control and taken advantage of this dip, at least back into the lows. I'm not completely bought into another big sell-off yet. I could be wrong, but the market is gonna have to prove that to me, that it's ready to keep selling off strongly. I'm wrong a lot, so I definitely wouldn't make any, if I was, I wouldn't be making any trading decisions based off what I say. I don't even trade off what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking. I just stick to the strategy. So right back up to our highs. They are playing this range. Let's see how long they keep us in this range. I do think, well, no, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm just gonna let it do what it's gonna do. So they're making a push to take the price high, take us out of this range. I will be looking to scale into that. We got our balance level above us at 574. We also got VWAP and then the 200 SMA. Grab that screenshot. I made a mistake on the on the performance account. I mean the evaluation account, so I had to go ahead and just kill that. I was trying to set up my scaling orders, and I think I actually did the wrong sell limit order. So if I make a mistake, I just go ahead and exit the position. I was actually taken out on the break even. Caught some slippage for the performance account as well. So took a small loss there. I hate my other. I gotta trying to focus on too many things at one time. Thinking about switching back and forth. So I'm just gonna keep it on this monitor for here. I mean for now. So we are seeing some sellers at this area that I did scale in for my second lot here when I traded it. We do have sellers sitting up here pushing price back lower, back to our previous resistance, which is now serving as our support. So we got a little small battle zone in here. I would have been at least holding the evaluation account trade had I not made that mistake. So now if I make a mistake, so that's actually part of the rules. If I make a mistake, it's once I do that, I got to get out as soon as I can where it makes sense. I'm not going to panic and just get out of the trade. I'm going to look at it and assess where I'm at after I made that mistake. But then if it's positive, automatic, take it out. Automatic kill the trade no matter what I think about the trade. If I make that mistake, it's got to go ahead and take whatever profit is there, and then take a little break and then reassess and see if there's another opportunity. It's typically what happens when you make a mistake. Well, from personal experience, and I've seen this with other traders as well. When you make a mistake, it's usually not a one-off. Well, let me speak for my own experience. When I usually make a mistake, it's usually not a one-off. It can lead to a string of mistakes until I just completely take myself out of that situation, regroup, readjust what I'm looking at, get a fresh perspective, and then I can get back to it. But a mistake usually leads to more mistakes. So this is why I try to, if I make a mistake, I get out as quickly as possible. To the point where it's basically automatic kill the trade. I gotta remember to put all of that in the journal once I'm done with this session. So we're right back down to right back in within the range that we came out of. A look above and fell. So technically we'll be watching. This is a lot of momentum here. It means we had a lot of buyers that came in here. Definitely a lot of buyers that's going to try to take breakouts longer. They got trapped. So if we take out this bar here, this 942 bar, we should be headed lower. Doesn't mean that's going to happen, but that's the way that the picture will be painted, and we'll see how wholesale and the market makers play it. Right now it looks like we want to trade back to the lows, the low of the session. Got to bounce off that balance level at 521. Still plenty of buying and selling in this market. Neither side has let up, which means those that move the market are still positioning, building their positioning themselves for the next big attempt to take the price in a particular direction. So it looks like they're trying to flip it back bullish. Got that nice little back and forth action. And I look at this pivot up here, this high, as a front run of VWAP. We know we got a lot of traders that are trading VWAP. So anyone that bought down here, they're looking at these little areas for targets. The VWAP would be one. So they're not going to wait for price to get to VWAP. We're going to sell it before that. We're going to try to be out of our position before price makes it to the target that we're looking at. All right. Got some more buyers to step in. Sellers are pushing back. Looking at the low of that previous candle. Let's see if we get a break to take us, when we just broke, to take us below the balance level. Why it sucks to make mistakes. But usually if you make a mistake, and that mistake was a lack of attention to detail, so there's a good chance that, you know, it would, if I'm not focused the way that I should be, there's a good chance that I'll continue to not be focused and continue making mistakes. However, in this one would have worked out, and I would have been rewarded for not sticking to my plan, which is also not a good thing. All right. Bouncing at session lows, there's the push. Let's invite some more shorts to join the party. And they're pushing it lower. This will be a nice breakout. Of course, if we're going to take these kind of breakouts with this back and forth price action, we want to have a top, well, I would have a tight stop loss. That's my personal thing. I'm not telling you to do anything with your accounts. Because the way that I look at this, if it does break below that low, which this is not setting up to be a breakout, as you know, looking at the price action now, doesn't mean it can trade back lower. But like, I would definitely, I'm not looking at taking a breakout on this at this point. But if I was to take a breakout right here, I'm looking to play momentum. So trade it back into this volume structure. Saw some sellers jump in there, but I'll be looking to take the momentum if I was taking this break. Meaning, if it's a momentum play, then it should keep going. It shouldn't break the low, then trade back higher. You know, it should keep going. We may get a little bit of a pullback, but it shouldn't pull back much. For a momentum play, you want to see the break and you want to see the follow through. That's more of a mental note for myself, and then it's not advice at all. You should be 100% accountable for the actions that you take with your trading account. Sellers definitely do not appear to be done. There's the push to break lower. Now the way that I would have liked to play that was to have entered in on this pullback, just looking at the volume. But we're not getting follow through like I would expect to see. It could keep pushing lower. But the energy of that break is not as strong as I would like it to be. We've got a balance right there at 468 that we're running into. With this price action, I am expecting to see some buyers, and there we go. This does give me a range to play. I do think they bring this higher, so I'm trying to scale into this range. I wanted to break the high of that previous candle. So we do have some sellers before that. Kind of trading mechanical to our volume profile. Hindsight Capitals is telling me that I should have been more aggressive on that entry. Even though that's not really, I didn't want it to trade this way. I wanted it to trade higher, go back and trade back into the range so that I could play the range. wanted to scale into this range. They're painting the picture for another break lower. Need to find some real estate for a 5-minute chart. I know that's another popular, even though most market makers are really, well, based off of what I've heard from a former market maker, they're not really looking at charts like that. It's just the way they move the price creates the patterns that we see on the chart. They're just looking at the orders that they receive and how they want to fill those orders so they can make money on the spread. Because they're trading this, they're moving this market, or they're trading it completely different than what retail and other players traded. They're trading the orders that they receive. We're trading our speculation of price either going lower or higher. And there's the push lower. Looking for that follow through. Like we're getting a little bit of a follow through now. Not a whole lot of buying happen at these levels. There is some, we do see buying, of course, but it's not really pushing back against the sell. And there we go. Now we got some buyers stepping in. So with this price action, I do think it's possible for us to have another pullback. Where it goes, I have no idea, of course, but definitely still have some buyers in this market. We got a sea of red on the delta. That first 30-minute period traded 161 contracts. So we're definitely active in the market. I didn't bring my A game this morning. This is a personal self-reflection. I could have traded this a lot better. Wasn't as focused as I should have been. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my numbers. I hate I didn't get to record that because I want to see exactly what I did there. I just heard like an order feel in it, but it wasn't any of my it wasn't any of the orders that I had, my limit orders that I had sitting on the chart, or that I placed on the chart. So it looks like we're trying to hold this range that was created from this momentum that came in short. Staying true to this market maker price action. Making sure I'm being extra careful in my orders now. Just looking to scale in if that's what I get. First target is hit. Looks like my break even is triggered as I said that. So at best it's going to turn into a scalp. And this is definitely my last trade of the day. Alright, let me make sure I go cancel all those other orders. So just 3 scalps today for having made my, for not bringing my A game. That's not terrible. Could be a lot worse. Still got this mechanical price action. Seeing selling right here off the structure. You can use the structure of our candlesticks, or even the volume profile. We're getting a reaction at all of these structural levels. I think I'm seeing pretty decent reaction at the balance levels. So at all of our, everywhere we are used to seeing price respond, we are seeing that this morning. And it's definitely not market correction time yet, as of right now anyway. What am I trying to do? Alright, picture's being painted for another push lower. and they're running their stair-stepping program this morning. Just looking at this price, just the structure from the print. Take it higher. Get some traders, some people, some traps in here. Take it lower, down to our next level of support. Bring it back up. Just getting, traps all along in here, depending on which side of the market that you're on, or that you're looking at it from your perspective. And let's see if we make another push lower. Good, put another step in here. Or if they hold the range. So far the pattern has been bring it, hold it in the range, bring it higher out of that range just to take it back lower down to another level. So right now we have the range. Took it long out of that range, we put it back, brought price back within the range, taking it back down to the lows. And let's see if we break the lows for our next level. Of course, all of that is in hindsight. I had no idea that they were going to trade it like this at the open before before I started trading. There's the short setup. Let's see if they give us a push. This is also great market conditions to scalp in, depending on what your strategy looks like. And we're seeing a very similar price action that we saw back here. They gave us our setup. It's not as strong, of course. But they gave us our setup at the lows. Brought it back a little bit. We don't have a whole lot of buying going on here. So it's that little slight pullback. This is like a smaller picture of what we saw back here. Doesn't mean you have to do the same thing. It doesn't. They can take this price back up. They can do something completely different. I'm just recognizing a pattern. Alright, so that's what they did. They took it down to the low. Some buying stepped in, and now we're pushing it right back. We're pushing it back into the highs. Or, well, not quite to the highs yet. Well, to the high of that range, but 50% of that down move that we just had. So there's definitely still playing this range position building. see how we look on a daily. Didn't see much of a change. Nothing really sticks out at this point. We're just watching price now. We're just watching price print. Gave us another setup for, they painted the picture again to invite some more shorts into this. So the way that I look at this stuff is I'm just doing it, just looking at the pattern recognition, seeing how the picture that they're painting. But I'm not trading the price. I'm not following price to make my trading decisions. I'm sticking to my strategy to determine when I'm going to enter and how I'm going to play, the current price action that I see. I may use price action for expectations of where, however I'm going to play it based off my strategy of where the price could go. And I try to look at both sides of the market. But the key is that I'm not making my trading decisions based off of how the price is currently being printed. The target for me is to stay consistent to my strategy, which that has been the key takeaway that I've seen, throughout my entire trading journey is if you just stay consistent to your strategy, the rest of the stuff really doesn't matter. Like looking at the price action and all of these other things, it's good to know, what the patterns are and how they like to move the markets and all of that stuff. But in terms of how I'm going to participate in this, it's just stay consistent to the strategy. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream for today. See if I can go find my A game somewhere. I think I left it in bed. So I hope y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Trade it easy.